Once upon a time, near a vast, dark forest, lived a poor woodcutter with his wife and two children, Hansel and Gretel. Hard times had come, and the family struggled to find enough food. The woodcutter loved his children dearly, but his wife, their stepmother, was cruel. One evening, Hansel and Gretel lay awake in their small, cold room when they overheard their stepmother whispering to their father. "We have too many mouths to feed," she said. "If we take the children deep into the woods and leave them, we can survive." The woodcutter was horrified. "I could never abandon my children." "Then we will all starve," she hissed. "This is the only way." Hansel squeezed Gretel's hand. "Don't worry," he whispered. That night, while everyone slept, he crept outside and filled his pockets with smooth white pebbles. At dawn, their stepmother shook them awake. "Come, children," she said sweetly. "We're gathering wood today." As they walked deep into the forest, Hansel dropped the pebbles one by one, leaving a trail. Their father built a small fire and told them to wait. But when night fell, their parents never returned. Gretel sobbed, but Hansel pointed at the shining pebbles under the moonlight. "We will find our way home." When they returned, their father was relieved, but their stepmother was furious. A few nights later, she convinced their father to take them even deeper into the forest. This time, Hansel had no pebbles, so he crumbled a small piece of bread, leaving a trail of crumbs. But when they tried to follow it back, the trail had vanished. Birds had eaten every crumb. Lost and exhausted, they wandered for days until they discovered something incredible: a house made entirely of gingerbread, candy, and sugar. "Look, Gretel," Hansel cried, "we won't starve." They eagerly broke off pieces of candy and ate, unaware they were being watched. The door creaked open, revealing an old woman with a crooked smile. "Oh, my poor children," she cooed. "Come in, and I shall give you a feast." Little did they know, she was a wicked witch who lured children to her house to eat them. As soon as they stepped inside, she slammed the door. "You are mine now," she cackled. She locked Hansel in a cage and forced Gretel to cook and clean. "Once your brother is fat enough, I shall eat him." Hansel, being clever, used a small bone from the cage to trick the witch into thinking he was too thin. Frustrated, she finally lost patience. "Heat the oven," she ordered Gretel. "I will eat him today." But Gretel had a plan. "I don't know how," she said innocently. "Foolish girl," the witch snapped. "I'll show you." She leaned inside the oven, and in that moment, Gretel shoved her in and slammed the door. The witch screamed, but it was too late. She was gone forever. Gretel freed Hansel, and together they discovered the witch's hidden chest of gold and jewels. They filled their pockets and ran away. After days of traveling, they finally reached home. Their stepmother was gone, and their father wept with joy to see them again. They showed him the treasure, and from that day on, they never went hungry again. And so Hansel and Gretel lived happily ever after.